Get a higher selling price for your home just by changing the paint color? There's new data to back it up. Stay with us. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching your real estate news. I'm Stacy Hansen. It's time for this week's real estate numbers with a look at the number of new listings in South Central Wisconsin for the month of June 2017, according to the South Central Wisconsin MLS. In Dane County, there were 1,095 new listings. In Columbia County, 122. In Rock County, 295 new listings. In Greene County, 74. In Sauk County, there are 137 new listings. In Grant, Iowa, and Lafayette counties combined, 126. In Dodge County, 140. In Sauk County, 137. And in Crawford, Richland, and Vernon counties combined, 78 new listings. The regional county supply for South Central Wisconsin is 3.22 months. That's down slightly from 3.98 month supply in June of last year. A housing boom with the arrival of Foxconn would likely start with apartments. Experts say that with Wisconsin's low jobless rate, the facility would have to attract employees from inside and outside the area and state. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, housing needs would come in stages. These new arrivals will need a place to rent before deciding whether to buy a home in southeast Wisconsin. Experts predict a large wave of renters to come first, followed by a second phase after 2 or 3 years of these workers looking to buy homes and condos. According to the Journal-Sentinel, it's estimated that building 1,000 new single-family homes would generate $12.4 million in taxes for state and local governments annually. As for affordability, the prices for existing homes and rents for apartments are expected to increase in Kenosha and Racine counties if Foxconn arrives, especially as supply will likely take time to catch up with demand. If you're hoping to sell your home for more, it may be as easy as changing your paint color. A new analysis by Zillow shows that homes with light blue bathrooms sell for $5,400 more than expected when sold. In fact, the data shows that blue in general is a pretty good bet. Dining rooms painted in darker blue sell for almost $2,000 more than expected. Homes with light blue kitchens and blue bedrooms sell for over $1,800 more. The only place blue paint didn't work was in living rooms. There it decreased home prices by just over $800 on average. Some colors have the opposite effect. A brick red dining room was shown to slash a home's price by more than $2,000, according to MarketWatch. Other losers in the color game were shades of yellow, pink, and brown. If you'd like additional information on these headlines, please reference the media sources you see listed on your screen. You can also like us on Facebook and visit wi57.tv. Don't go away, we'll have more real estate news right after the break. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Katie Miracle of Cabinet Masters. Welcome back, Katie. Great to see you again.
Yes, you too.
So you help customers with a variety of remodeling problems. Can you give us a sense of what you do there?
Yes, primarily we focus on fixing the aesthetics, obviously. That seems to be the number one problem we solve, but we also solve problems dealing with the functionality of your kitchen and making it work for not only you, but also your family. What are your family needs? And then also repairing your kitchen. A lot of times the layout is broken or the cabinets literally are falling apart, so we can fix those needs as well.
So there's a lot you can do. How do you determine who's going to be a good candidate for Cabinet Masters?
Well, the first thing clients will do is they'll call in and schedule an appointment with me. We sit down at my office and talk about their needs and their problems with their space, and I come up with some solutions on how Cabinet Masters can help. And we just really have a conversation to make sure that they're a good fit for Cabinet Masters and Cabinet Masters is a good fit for them.
So Katie, you've really seen it all at this point, I imagine. What are your favorite design styles right now?
I am a big fan of anything that's modern, contemporary, clean lines. I especially love mid-century modern design, and I feel that I'm a very good designer when it comes to mid-century modern.
Is there anyone that you would say shouldn't remodel that you would tell them to hold off?
Yes. If you wake up every day and go to your kitchen and say, I love my kitchen, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, I like the aesthetics, it functions for me, nothing's broken, you really don't need a remodel. Also, if you really don't have the money right now to remodel, that really wouldn't be a good idea for you to jump into a project that you really shouldn't be taking on.
What if you're building a new home and you're looking at kind of making it the way that you want? Can you still help them get a mid-century modern design if it's a new home?
Absolutely. The first thing I would have you do is talk to your builder and find out if he works with a designer that specializes in mid-century modern. If they don't, I would recommend you having them contact me and start developing a relationship so that I can help you with your design.
All right, well, thanks so much. If you're looking at doing a remodel, definitely check out Cabinet Masters and stay with us for a little more right after the break. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Paul Miner of Blue Terra Design. Welcome, Paul. Great to have you on the show. Let's talk trends. What's a popular trend you've been seeing in the kitchens you've been remodeling around Madison?
Well, some of the trends that I've been seeing is that bringing in wood into accent in the kitchen, like floating shelves, having the island be a wood piece and have the surrounding areas be painted, and that's a really nice look to get the warmth in there.
Yeah, definitely great to bring that warmth in, especially when you got all those appliances, especially when you got a lot of stainless steel and things that are popular. Good to bring that in. What types of wood, though, are you seeing? What's trendy right now?
What's trending is kind of oak. It surprisingly is coming back.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, the Corsaw white oak, natural finish, is really a classy look. That's coming back into vogue. Also, oak being painted, so you can see that nice wood grain. The texture, it actually looks like it's actually wood. Once again, back to the wood feeling.
So what other styles and finishes are people really gravitating toward around Madison?
Well, it's still white and grays. The Shaker classic arts and crafts is still in vogue. But we're also seeing some of the Midwest is finally catching up with the West Coast and East Coast with inset cabinets. And it's kind of more of a traditional look is kind of getting more popular, kind of a more grown up look.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool look. What about countertops? Are you seeing trends in that area?
What we've seen and not seen, we've seen a lot of quartz. It seems to be the new go-to. What we've not seen is stone, and granite is really, people are not interested anymore with the maintenance and and there's no warranties and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a turnaround because that was huge for a long time.
Yes.
So what would you say is the new must-have thing for kitchens?
Lighting, under cabinet lighting with the new LED technology, the cool light, burning hardly, very efficient, is really a must. We're seeing a lot of that. Well, 95% of the kitchens that we do, we're putting in LED lighting.
Wow, so you're seeing a ton of that. So if people are interested, how do they get started doing a kitchen remodel with Blue Terra Design?
Well, first it contacts us. Then we set up an appointment to come in and do a free consult. We come in, we ask you a bunch of questions, take measurements, and then we come back with a 3D drawing and a quote. And this is a free consult. Then we get the process going from there.
And that's the fun part. Well, thanks so much, Paul. Great to meet you.
Thanks for having me, Stacy.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Jesse Pica-Holst with Solidarity Realty. So Jesse, we've had a lot of rain recently this spring. Let's talk about how water can affect your home if you don't deal with it properly.
Thanks for having me. I like to remind people that one of our great national parks, the Grand Canyon, was carved out by nothing more than water and time. So imagine what that can do to your home if you're not keeping up on your maintenance. Over time, if you've got ice dams during the winter damaging your roof, or if there's not upkeep with your siding, water can infiltrate your home, causing potentially mold problems if not dealt with, or over time, it can attack your foundation, causing cracks or worse.
Yeah, I like your reference there to the Grand Canyon. That really paints a picture for you to really step up and do something about water affecting your home. So basements are a big area where people have trouble with flooding. What are some things you can do to keep those dry?
Sure. Step one is the cheapest and the easiest. Clean out your gutters every spring. Over time, especially during the fall, leaves and debris can collect there and break down and eventually turn into soil if not dealt with adequately, and block your gutters from doing their job. And their one job is to keep water away from the foundation of your home. So that's step one. Step two is have your roof routinely inspected every couple of years, maybe. Also, look at the different parts of the downspouts from your gutters. Make sure that they're not leaking or burst. Occasionally, if there's an ice dam inside of a downspout, that can burst and dump water right onto your foundation as well. And the kickouts, that's the part at the bottom that channels the water away from your home. Make sure that those are attached. Oftentimes, those can become disassembled, and you want to have about 4 to 6 feet of the water getting away from the foundation of your home.
So a good idea to sort of take a walk around your house and check some of these things out. Aside from the water damage types of things, what else is good to check for spring?
Sure. Have your roof checked out every couple of years. And take a look in your basement as well. If you've got some existing cracks in your basement, one thing that they don't have to worry about at the Grand Canyon is what we deal with here in Wisconsin, which is winter. So during that freeze and thaw, water will kind of expand and contract over and over again. And if you have an existing issue, it can either cause a crack or take an existing crack and make it much worse. So issues like that.
So good things to check out. Take a walk around your home and check some of those things out now. Great tips. Jesse from Solidarity Realty, thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Stephanie Walls of Property Revival Realty. Welcome, Stephanie. Good to have you here. So let's talk about why having an agent is important. Property Revival does a lot on all ends, but why have an agent?
That's a great question, especially in this market. A lot of people feel that it's such a seller's market that you can just sell your own home, but there's so much more to the sale than just getting a good price. So it's really great to have an agent navigate you through the whole transaction, coming in, helping you stage up your house, getting rid of things you don't need. That's super important because it's hard to look at your own space and see what should be there and what shouldn't. Marketing, we market to other agents, so that's super helpful. And then when it comes time for the contract to come through, looking at other things other than just the price. You may have a couple offers, one may be higher than the other, but there are other contingencies that come into play, financing and selling your home. So it's really important to have somebody helping you through inspections and things like that.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have an expert on your side, like you all at Property Revival Realty too. Now I understand you have some open houses coming up.
Yes, I do, this weekend. So I have a new listing coming live on Friday, 205 Judd, and it's really cute. It's a brand new home as of 2011 in a very lived-in neighborhood. It's right by Oak Brook Gardens, Capitol Bike Trail. You can walk to Lake Monona, and that's from 1:30 until 3. And then I have 5429 Penny Lane, and that one's at 248. And that is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Super great little neighborhood as well. And I'll be there from 10:30 until 12.
Definitely want to check those out. And those are great neighborhoods too. And like you said, a lived-in neighborhood with newer houses are great too.
Fantastic.
So how do people get in touch with you, or what's the best way to start with Property Revival?
Well, you can contact us, the number's below, and we're in Madison and Janesville.
So Stephanie, for those viewers that were interested in coming to these open houses, can you just touch quickly again on when and where those are?
Yes, so we have the 5429 Penny Lane, and that is in Madison, the Lost Creek neighborhood, and that one is from 10:30 until noon. And then I have 205 Judd Street, which will be on Sunday as well, from 1:30 until 3.
All right, well thanks so much, Stephanie. Definitely check out Property Revival Realty, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. Temperatures are beginning to hit their peak this summer, and with that, of course, electric bills. So how can we keep cool this summer without breaking the bank with our energy bills? The Lennox Home Energy Report Card Survey found that many of us could use a course in Energy Savings 101. And here to talk more about how we can save money while keeping cool is energy efficiency expert Trent Davis. Trent, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. And so what are some of the most important findings from this year's Lennox Home Energy Report Card Survey?
Well, people are patting themselves on the back a bit. 66% of people gave themselves a B or an A on their self-assessment in the report card, saying they feel like they're doing a good job saving energy in their home. The fact is, as you dig deeper into that, you find that there's a lot of things, everyone's doing something. 90% of people have at least one eco-friendly choice they're making around the house. But there's a lot of things people can do that are simple and easy little tasks that can pay off for years to come.
Absolutely. And so I think we probably know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask anyway, what uses the most energy in the home during the summer?
Yeah, in July, people would not be surprised to hear that over the course of the year, the air conditioning and heating system is the biggest energy consumer in the house. But you're not stuck with what you've currently got. We know 49% of people have considered upgrading their system to get a more energy efficient model, but you can also do something to take better care of the model you've got. Like a car, an air conditioning system needs regular maintenance and attention to make sure it's working its best. So the analogy to an oil change in a car would be changing your filter in your air conditioning system. This needs to happen monthly. It's kind of like, I like to say it's kind of like flossing. Everyone says they do it, but people don't usually do it enough. A dirty filter makes the blower work harder to move air through your house, which costs you energy. The other thing you can do is on the outside unit, you can go and make sure that bushes and shrubs are all properly trimmed back from the edge and that the unit itself is clear of debris. Air has to flow smoothly through that unit for you to get the most out of your energy dollar. And if you walk through a typical neighborhood, you'll see a lot of people have their unit covered up and clogged up with bushes and trees.
So it sounds like the biggest thing that people can do to reduce cost is really just keeping the airflow flowing, essentially.
Yeah, make it easier for the system to work, and it will pay you back with better comfort and better efficiency. There's plenty more you can do as well. The second biggest energy consumer in the house is the water heater. Most people's water heaters have a temperature setting that they can manually adjust. This is something you can do in 5 minutes. I did it, previously in my house on my own. You can turn that down pretty substantially without it affecting the comfort of your shower, your baths, or your ability to get your dishes clean. So that's a great way to save money 12 months a year.
Yeah, and you certainly don't need to have it scalding hot to get your dishes clean, as you mentioned. So let's talk about some of the misconceptions and the mistakes that people make. What would you say is the biggest mistake people make when it comes to saving money on their energy bills?
A huge one is people don't use energy, people don't manage their energy use very well when they're out of the house. So everyone's had an experience probably with an old style programmable thermostat that's difficult to program, and maybe they've given up on trying to use it. The new generation of smart thermostats are very intuitive and easy to use, and they can be an affordable upgrade that will save you money for as long as you own the house. The Lennox iComfort E30 next to me is a great example of that. One of the technologies I would recommend looking for is the ability to connect to a smartphone and the ability to use geofencing. Geofencing is great because if you're anything like my family, we don't have a consistent schedule. People are in and out of the house at all times. The summers are different than the winters. Geofencing actually tracks when you're in the home and when you're away. And when you leave the house without doing anything on your own, it will manually turn the temperature up, which will reduce your energy usage. And when it detects that you're returning home, it'll go ahead and return it to the comfortable temperature. That way you always walk into a comfortable house, but you're not wasting energy while you're gone.
Very good, very good. And so it sounds to me like, I've heard that there's different schools of thought there, that there's the school of thought where you want to try to maintain the same consistent temperature at all times. And then there's the other one that you talked about where you want to try to make adjustments depending on whether you're asleep or away from home. So you're saying that it's actually going to save, it indeed will save more money to turn your AC or your temperature up, I should say, when you're not in the house.
Yeah, a simple way to think of this is the closer the temperature inside your house is to the temperature outside, the less energy you need to use to maintain that temperature. So what that means is, now you don't want to turn your system completely off because it'll be running all day just to catch up. But if you want to turn your temperature up, I turn mine up about 5 degrees when I leave the house to save some energy during the day. And then the system doesn't have to overwork itself to get it back down to a comfortable temperature when I return. So it is good to turn it up during the day, just don't turn it off.
So 5 degrees is a good rule, a comfortable rule of thumb, you'd say.
Yeah, and experiment with your own system, your own house. It may vary for you, but 5 degrees will give you a noticeable savings without putting an undue strain on your system.
Very good. And we just have about 30 seconds left, Trent, but where can people go for more information about what we talked about today?
Lennox.com has a ton of articles and tips for you on saving energy. And while you're there, if you have an energy savings tip of your own that you're proud of, submit it to the Lennox Energy Saving Superstar Contest. The winner of that contest gets $10,000 towards an air conditioning high efficiency upgrade for their home. And more importantly, you get a free year's supply of ice cream.
I think I like the latter and the former. Wow, can't go wrong there. Well, Trent Davis, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Don't go away. There's more real estate news coming up after the break.
Thanks to our guests for stopping by today, and thank you, our viewers, for tuning in. Join us again next week. I'm Stacy Hansen for the Real Estate News, making a positive impact and leading the real estate market.